What's up, everyone? Seeing how we have done a video of real versus fake Cuban cigar, I used the Cohiba, and you guys really only got to see what it looked like inside of a fake Cohiba cigar. And those are pretty much given to you in Mexico on cruises. Other countries have them. You find them here. You go to Miami, somebody tells you, hey, I got a Cuban, and they give you these nasty rolled up shit Mexican tobacco, usually floor sweeping. So that was that video of the floor sweepings. And I actually still have the band, even though I shot that video a few months ago. That is the band from that Cohiba. And you could see how on the head, you know, there's a little bit of white in certain areas, if this focuses. The gold is chipped off of it. The lettering is flat. There's boxes that are missing. The boxes just aren't even with each other. So, and I'm going to show you real quick what a real Cohiba band looks like. This is from a Cohiba Maduro 5. Actually, this one's a little bent up from sitting in this box for so long. Let me, I'll give you this one. This one is off of a Cohiba Robusto. So, that's a real Cohiba band. Let me see if I could flip this around really quick. So that's the real Cohiba band. If you notice, the white is equal all the way around the head. The head is raised. There's almost like a thumbprint. I don't know if it could catch it on the screen, but inside on that little head, there's a thumbprint. And also, all the lettering is raised. All of the boxes are evenly placed across it, and the white around the head is even. I'll match the two of them up next to each other so you guys could compare, and you could clearly and obviously see what the real one looks like. So now that's the real band. That's one way to tell if the cigar is real or not. Now, just because it has a band on it that looks like this, that is clearly a real band. These also have a dot in them that if you run a black light over it, you'll see the dot that you can only see with a black light. You won't see that on a fake label either. So that's that for the label side of it. Now, there is other factors that come into a real or fake cigar. The real way to really test is if you have a box of cigars. Now, the box will have a government seal on it. That is this, right? And on this government seal, there is a box code down here. Let me flip it around so you can see the code. That is the code. That is the seal. And you could also run a black light over this so you could see on the government seal the marks for black light. Now, this is a box of Hoyo De Monterrey. I don't have any more Cohibas. If I did, I would use a Cohiba. But this will have to do. So if you were to go on the Habanos website, and they have a verification section where you could punch this number in, and that number needs to match this exact box of cigars. Now, they also, all Cuban cigars have this Habanos label on the top, and also they all have this etched in to the back in clear numbers, and this date. This is the box date. and code. So there's many factors. There's a lot of people that go and put a lot of time into faking a box of Cubans because, as you guys know, the embargo in the United States made it for a booming market to roll counterfeits and sell them for cheaper than what actual Cuban cigar costs. And you're most likely get ripped off. Now, people are getting really good at faking these, but the true test is, the box code, all of the factors involved on the box, and also what's actually inside of the cigar. So, now, I know I'm going to get some serious hate for doing this, but I have cigars. Another thing is all Habanos come with this letter. Don't really know what it says because it's all in Spanish, but each box has this little parchment paper inside of it. And on more high-end cigars like Cohiba Band and things like that, there's a lot more to the box because those are more faked because of how expensive they are. So people, you really got to pay close attention to the material of the box, the craftsmanship put into building the box of it, the hinges, everything. There's actually a few videos on here if you look up Cohiba Band fakes and real ones. They have some good videos out there. Now, I am going to, because when these were shipped to me, I have another box that none of them are damaged, but these got damaged during the shipping and handling. So if you can see, it's got a little rip in it. Now, I can still smoke this cigar, which I have other ones in this box that are a little damaged, and I will smoke them. But these are so new, and I got 2 boxes of these. I'm going to be aging them and probably not smoking them for a while. So the plan now is for me to cut this bad boy open and show you what a Cuban cigar should look like inside. These are rarely faked, these Hoyo De Monterreys, because they're very inexpensive and they're affordable, but they do get faked too, because still you can't, they're unless you know people or have good connections, you can't get them here in the United States. Luckily, I have good connections. But let's first take a look at the label here. And the label should come off fairly easy too. They shouldn't be ripping when they come off. If they are ripping extremely when you go to take the label off, then most likely the chances are is they took that label off the cigar, original one, and glued it back onto a new one. Chances, right? I mean, also remember, Cuba has very little quality control, so you might get some that are just a little more glued on than regular. But if you could see, there's nothing special about these Hoyo De Monterrey labels. Let me face the camera around. Give you an up close of this, but it's got raised embroidering all over it. Cuba. It's everything's pretty even on it and shines fairly well. You can see from the back edge the embroidery embossed, and not too much detail put into it, but it's a good label. Alright, so there's your first test. Now on a Cohiba, like the ones I showed you before, you guys already know what you would be looking for. This has one more label on it because this is a La Casa de Habano cigar, which is just a factory in Cuba and in other areas. So let's pop that off. And there we go. get a good look at the cigar. Like I said, this was damaged during shipping, so just a little bumped out right there. Alright, so just like the last one, I'm going to cut the cap off and then unroll the out wrapper. So let's get that in there, go past the cap, and clean cut right off. And you could see very nicely rolled in there. So now let's unravel the wrapper. Now here's a big difference between this one and the other one. One, you could see the craftsmanship that was put into the cuts on the edges of it. So when they curve that cut while they're rolling it, if you ever seen anybody roll cigars by hand, then you know what I'm talking about. But let's feel how pliable this is. Pretty pliable. It's takes a little bit to break it, a little bit of not like the other one where it just tore apart. I'm pulling on this pretty hard before it rips. So wrapper is very, very good quality tobacco. Smells great too. Like I said, I'm sure there's going to be some people that are getting so pissed off that I'm cutting a real Cuban right now up. But it's for some clout, let's be honest. Alright, now let's loosen up this binder. Alright. And there's the first piece. And the second piece. So two binders. Very nice. Now you notice how in the other video, when I ripped off the binder, everything started falling apart. So this is a good sign already. But we're still not out of the woods yet. They could roll it really tight and have some moisture inside of that. But the you could tell these are young cigars just because of how moist the tobacco still is. But really good quality tobacco here. You could see very, very little veins in the binder, you know. Obviously not a wrapper leaf, there's some imperfections in it, but very good quality, very, very strong and durable. Same with this one. Very, very strong, very durable. So the binder is good, wrapper is good. Now, for the filler. Now this is what will separate that fake from a real, right here. And obviously, like, unless you have a box with a bunch of cigars in it, you just have one that you spent $35 on or $40 on, I know you're not going to want to cut it open. I would only suggest to cut it open if you suspect that it might be fake. Because, like I said, like you saw in the last video I did, the real and fake, there is some nasty stuff that could come out of it. So there's one filler, if you notice. It's all one leaf. There's one. There is another one. All one leaf. Some sort of hole in it. I hope that's not a beetle hole because these have been sitting in my humidor. I don't know if you can see that hole. It would have, maybe it was starting to eat its way through, but I don't see a beetle anywhere. But anyways, a full leaf. This is what a cigar should look like. This is what you call long filler, right? One piece, long filler. Long filler. And these little pieces are, I'll explain to you once I'm done separating all of this. Long filler, long filler, long filler. No little bits like that Cohiba I had. Let's get a close-up. Little, long, 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 and long. All good. Long filler. So you have your long filler, your binder that was really durable, and your beautiful wrapper leaf. Now, why there's some little pieces like that you're like, oh, there's some short filler in there. No, that's not short filler. So what they do is when they're taking the filler, they wrap it, and it's a lot longer. It's like here and here. So they'll put a few pieces of the long ones in there, just like so. They'll bunch it up in their hand. They'll rip it off from the top, rip it off from the bottom, stick some more in there, and that's how you get some of the changes in the cigar. And they put a couple little pieces in here and here, bunch it all up like so, and then boom, you're ready to roll it. Then they roll it, stick it in what you call a mold. I'll show you guys. So this is a cigar mold. So what they would do is after they bunch it up and roll the binder over it, right? They take two or one binder, whatever whatever the tobacco roller is doing, and then they would take it, bunch it up, and stick them in these slots here. So you could see it. They're all shaped like a cigar. And then they take the top and, you know, cigar rollers that produce a lot of cigars, they normally have stacks of these, and they'll put it like stacked up this high in a clamp, and the clamp just clamps down on it. They leave it in there for about a half an hour, 45 minutes, and it keeps that cigar shape in that mold. And from that point is what they do, and they put the wrapper on it. So there you guys go. You have your Hoyo De Monterrey Epicure Deluxe La Casa de Habana, real Cuban. This is what a real Cuban is supposed to look like. All the factors that I talked about. Quick recap. You have your box with the government seal, box code, the Habanos logo. If it's a La Casa de Habano, it'll have that underneath it as well. You have your date and Habanos Hecho en Cuba, Talmente a mano. You will have your cedar, and you will have your Habanos letter in parchment paper, and then your cigars. So I hope I was able to answer some of your guys' questions for you. I hope you got some good content and education a little bit on Cuban cigars. If you guys want to see more Cuban content or cigar content from me, my main platform is TikTok. I have about 70,000 followers on TikTok, but I noticed that this fake Cuban video was blowing up here on YouTube, so I figured I'd put some more content out there for you guys. If you like and want more, please like, comment, share this video, and give me a follow. All right, guys, as usual, stay smoky, my friends.